In this week's ultra-eclectic Pianodrop, we feature 6581 by Julian Doe, Remote Violin Nano by Alejandro Morgana Martinez, an insane selection of experimental instruments called Columbia 1 by Zachary Miller, The Beguiling Snow by Gabriel Ness, and Synthello by Andrew Reeds. "6581 by Julian Doe. This is my first attempt to create a full sampled instrument. Last month I came across an old broken ZX Spectrum with a 6581 SID chip, and I've managed to repair it enough to capture a couple of samples. Nothing fancy, just some sine waves and square waves. But as I've learned following Christian Henson and the Piano Book community, is that every sound can be manipulated enough to mutate it into a great instrument. Remote Violin Nano by Alejandro Morgana Martinez. The world has been through a lot. Being unexpectedly confined for so long has been tough, and all we can do is find some good and lightness through these weird times. I decided to experiment with the notion of a remote recording by requesting the musician, an amazing violinist, in this case, to record the samples for the instrument herself and using only her phone. This string instrument is cozy, screechy and oddly intimate. It features 4 different sliders and 2 knobs, all CC assignable, that control the direct audio recorded by a regular iPhone, 2 interference signals and a reverb created by a less than ideal reverb pedal. Columbia 1 by Zachary Miller. Columbia 1 is a series of experimental instruments created from objects in, around and outside the studio. The resulting sound lends itself well to industrial, lo-fi and music concrete, as the nature of the instruments lend themselves well to warping and manipulation. The name Columbia comes from the poetic name of the United States. This is a reference to Spitfire's Albion series of libraries, where Albion is a poetic name for the island of Great Britain. Snow by Gabriel Ness. I've always loved the stark, fragile atmosphere of winter, and this year I was lucky enough to have several days of heavy snow in Leeds, the UK. My goal for this instrument was to capture the atmosphere using my field recordings of the snowfall in various locations. The instrument comprises of pads and sound effects designed from my recordings. It also includes my not-so-virtuistic violin playing to add more depth to the main instrument. I've separated the sounds I've used into different combinations for ease of use. This is my first contribution to the Piano Book community, and hopefully there will be many more. Happy composing. Synthello by Andrew Reeds. Piano Book has been an awesome community and I'm glad I discovered it. As a thank you to everyone who made and shared different instruments, I've decided to share my entire collection of sampled instruments for a new project of mine to the Piano Book community. I like to write books in my free time and decided to write and score a science fiction book called The Future, When I was assembling my palette, I needed a blend of orchestral instruments and synthesizers in order to match the world in my book. One of these sounds is Synthello, combining a cello and a synthesizer. I used a synthesizer to emulate a cello, but instead of using strings to resonate, it would use wavetables. I hope you enjoy this one.